let's face it, making a new habit is difficult. Hello there, I'm Fernanda. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome if you're new. I have been making a very conscious effort of not adding to all of the noise of the situation that is currently going on right now in the world. But I also have noticed that it has been bothering me a little bit when people just act as if everything is normal and don't acknowledge the gravity of the situation. So just with that, I am going to acknowledge this is a very strange time where it's difficult. We're all going to get through this, and I hope that you and your family and everyone around you is safe and healthy. Now, having said that, I am a firm believer that if life gives you lemons, you should make lemonade. And I understand that in order to do that, you need to have food and be healthy and essentially have all of your basic needs covered, which I feel very fortunate that we are in that position right now. And this is a very strange situation, but we've been given a set of lemons regardless, even if they are at the bottom of the bag and they are a little bruised and tiny and probably a little dry. They're still lemons. So I'm going to make the best out of them, and I'm going to give you some tips of how you can do that as well. As challenging as being stuck at home 24/7 can be, it is actually a great time to establish and allow you to stick to your good habits. The issue with habits normally is that there is a lot of friction between where we are and what we want to do. For example, if you want to establish a habit of going to the gym, there is a lot of things that need to happen before you are at a stage where you are working out consistently. You need to find a workout that you like, get workout clothes, sign up for a gym, drive to said gym, make time to go to the gym. And that's a lot of friction between you and the habit that you want to establish. Inherently, being stuck at home is already a time of decreased friction. There is less obligations on your social calendar, less obligations on your schedule, even less options of what you can actually do. And while that might seem very limiting to some, I'm encouraging you to look at it a completely different way and use this decreased friction time to your advantage to stick to your good habits. If we combine this period of decreased friction with distilling our desired habit to its most essential, effortless task that we can think of, chances are we'll come out on the other end having established a good routine and a good habit that then we can build upon. Let me explain to you what I mean. In his book, Atomic Habits, James Clear explains that the more energy and effort an action requires to take, the less likely we are to take it. So the key thing here is to distill our desired habit to the most effortless action we can do every day that will prompt the next thing that we actually want to do. So take the case of writing, for example. Writing is effortful. It requires a lot of energy. So we're not trying to build a habit of writing. We are trying to build a habit of, say, sitting in front of our computer every single day and opening up a blank word processing screen. That's it. By doing that day after day, then we become the kind of person that shows up in front of our computer and opens a blank word processor. I have a personal example of how I use this with meditation. When I was starting to build a habit of meditation, I just committed to sitting down and closing my eyes every single day. I didn't say for 20 minutes or for 15 minutes, no, just sitting down and closing my eyes every single day. And sometimes it was at the beginning of the day, and sometimes it was at the end of the day, right before I went to bed, because I did not want to miss a day. But what I was doing is that I was becoming the type of person that shows up and closes her eyes every single day. Sometimes a meditation would last 10 minutes, and sometimes it was just 30 seconds or a minute. But by not missing a day, I became the person who meditates. Now, 3 years later, I'm meditating 40 minutes a day. So I built upon that habit. From experience, I can tell you that reducing as much friction as possible works really well for establishing a new habit quickly, particularly when it comes to sticking with it during rough times. I use this, for example, now at this point I do yoga every single day. Sometimes I go to a class, a lot of the times I do it at home. But the reason I wanted to do it at home was because, like I've mentioned before, my schedule changes and I'm traveling for work all the time. And I wanted to make sure that I would stick to this habit no matter where I was or if my environment changed. So I just do it every single day. I have an online subscription. I do yoga with Adriene, and I just do whatever session is on the calendar every single day. So I don't even change out of my pajamas because there's no point. I reduce that point of friction. I reduce the point of friction of choosing, no matter where I am or what time of the day it is, and having to go to an actual studio. So what this means is that even on a period like now, when I'm stuck at home, or if I'm stuck in a hotel room, or I'm traveling and I have to get up at 5 in the morning and no yoga studio is available, I already have the habit of working out every day. Obviously, this works really well with habits that you can perform at any time and any place. But if you want to build a habit of working out, what is the minimal thing that you can do while you're at home to keep you in that mindset of being a person who works out? If you go to spin class every day, maybe this time you can just put your spin clothes on and do like bicycle crunches or something like that. Just something that you can do to remind yourself that that is a part of your identity and keep that habit alive. Personally, I do recommend performing your micro habit every single day, at least while you're building it. And remember, we're not committing to working out every single day of the week. We are just committing to rolling out the yoga mat every day of the week. Over time, you will notice that the missed days will hurt you way more than the days done at half energy. So even if you roll out the yoga mat and then you just like stretch a little bit or like do a couple of jumping jacks, that will help you a lot more than missing a day of doing absolutely nothing completely. Over time, you can adjust to whatever you need, and then you can adjust your habit to like, now I go to spin class 3 days a week, or whatever it is that you are trying to get at. But the point is to start as small as possible and build from there. You will be less likely to let go of your habit if it's very well established, as small as it is, than you will be to stick to it if you start buying a very big chunk at the beginning. Something that has worked really well for me is that I use a habit tracker on my phone. And what that does is that it counts the days that I've performed that habit day after day after day. And what that does for me is that I'm less likely to let go of the habit the larger the number gets. So even if one day I'm really busy and really tired, I'm not likely to not sit down and close my eyes for even a minute just because I don't want to break that streak. And look, I'm not saying that we have to come out on the other end to being fluent in French and with like chiseled abs and a novel fully written. That is not realistic and is not going to happen. And any good habit takes a long time to establish and even longer to show results. So keep that in mind and just use this time to your advantage to build the strong foundation for that habit that you want to keep going on when we're finally let out of our homes, which would hopefully be very, very soon. All right, you guys, so that is going to be it for this video. I hope you liked it. Thank you so much for sticking with me to the end. And let me know in the comments if you do plan to try this, what habit you're looking to start. And let me know how you're doing during this crisis. It's really crazy out there. And I know that a lot of you guys are not in the United States. So please let me know how you're doing with that. If you do like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. And there is a button over here that you can click to subscribe. Ring that bell if you want to be notified every time I post a new video. I am here every single Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern, and I will see you guys next week. Bye. And guys, before I forget, I just want to say thank you so much for helping me pass 1,000 subscribers. It's a huge milestone. I know that in this day and age that doesn't sound like anything, but if I think about 1,000 women, I don't take that for granted. It means the world to me. So thank you so much for sticking with me, and thank you for coming back week after week. It means a lot.